The Blue Bombers are rogue underdogs against the BC Lions this week in a game that will decide the season series between the two teams and essentially decide first place in the West Division. Winnipeg beat the depleted Toronto Argonauts in comeback fashion last week, while the Lions have won 4 straight games. Who do you have in this matchup of West Division contenders?
I'm taking BC this week. And I'm taking BC this week because I think that home field advantage, Jordan Maximic and all of those fantastic receivers the Lions have an advantage on that track field surface. And I think that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers secondary, which has struggled at times this year, is really going to miss Demario Houston. Looks like he's not going to play this week. So I am taking BC, which I think is really bad news for the Bombers, because if they do in fact lose this game, if the West Final is in Vancouver, I think that the Lions are going to win that game as well. I think the Bombers win the West Final if it's in Winnipeg and they can get Brady Oliveira going in the cold. But out west, I like BC's chances. I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this matchup a ton, and I keep trying to convince myself one way or the other. The way I look at this, the Lions have had some inconsistency in the last few weeks, some slow starts or some difficulty finishing. The Bombers have shown that they bounce back extremely well from uncharacteristic performances. And I think last week against Toronto, they expected to blow out the Argos with a backup quarterback, and they got humbled a little bit. And the last thing you want to do is face the Bombers when they've been humbled. So they're coming out. I think Winnipeg's going to be firing on all cylinders. BC may be a little bit cocky. They may not be entirely prepared. I think the Blue Bombers will squeak out a win in this one, even though I think Vernon Adams Jr. is the better quarterback.
That's debatable, but Mike O'Shea will have his team focused here. I totally agree with JC's point there that last week losing to the Argonauts while Chad Kelly was pinned to the bench is going to be something that he's going to be using for motivation for this team. And until I see Vernon Adams do it and beat a big time team in a big time game and doesn't make a mistake, then I'm going to go with the Bombers.